What's going on, everyone? Safe on Talk, and we are back with an amazing farming strategy that I cannot believe still works this way, and GGG hasn't changed it, but oh well, they still haven't. We're going to profit off of it. And yes, we are talking 6 to 7 divines an hour with a very stupid strategy that just works so incredibly well that is going to help a ton of people that any build can do as long as in a tier 14 bare bones white map you can kill the first couple groups of people you see. So what are we doing? Well, we are invitation farming, and a lot of people know about invitation farming. It is farming things like this. This is the one we're going to be talking about, the incandescent invitation. It is the Searing Exarch invitation to fight him. It is worth 1.2 divine, and we can farm one of these very, very quickly. On average, about 8 if you're pretty fast, 12 minutes if you are relatively slower at it. Not a big deal. That means in, say 10 minutes, if you can farm one of these, that's 6 divine an hour. If you get down to 8, you're talking a little bit higher than 7 divine an hour. It is very doable. I'm even going to show you an example, but before that, I'm going to show you how to do this and do this very quickly. First thing you are going to want is when you start doing maps, you will start getting the Searing Exarch quest line. You want to do this until you beat him, or if you get to him and you cannot beat him, you can buy a carry, either from Trade 820 or you can go to the TFT Discord. You can go to Ancestor Softcore Services or maybe Hardcore Services, whichever one you are playing. If you're playing the League, you can go to Boss Carry Want to Sell, and there is a ton of people that will kill your stuff for a fee. I don't see an Exarch. Searing Exarch 40C, this person is doing it. Just posted this 10 minutes ago. It is a very active community. You can get a carry that way. Also, to help speed things up, especially if you're running the Searing Exarch invitations, is the Baptized by Fire node, which is up here. It gives 10% chance to award double progress towards encountering the Searing Exarch. Encountering the Searing Exarch is basically the same thing as saying getting the invitation, which you are going to sell. Now, even though the Eater of Worlds invitation, as of making this video, is cheaper, if you wanted to do that, you could take Etched by Acid, and to be honest, both of these sound very, very painful, but this does the same thing, just with the Eater of Worlds influence. But once you have him beat, you are going to have this button here, which in tier 14 plus maps, you are going to be able to get the Searing Exarch influence. It's going to let altars pop, but more importantly, it is just going to pop red Searing Exarch monsters. And this is the amazing thing. Let's say, we can do a little math here, a invitation goes for 1.2 divine. We'll say that's about 280 chaos. It takes about 25 to 26 pops of the Exarch to get that circle around, this circle right here, to go to full. You'll get a notch, and with that, you have a 10% chance with that node to get 2 notches. Once you get this all the way full, you get the invitation. As you can see, it says Searing Exarch progress, 0 out of 28. It takes 28, or if you double it 10% of the time, it'll take about 25 to 26 on average to get an invitation. So let's say it's on the higher end. So we would divide this by 26 maps, 280 for the 1.2 divine. That means every time it pops, you make 10.7 chaos. So how long does it take to make that 10.7 chaos? Well, let's see. You can go in a map. As long as it's tier 14, I'm going to build up a little bit of Venom Gyre. I'm going to kill stuff. I am going to wait for the red pop. You saw that red pop right there. I go back to town. I just made 10.7 chaos. I got another notch on the invitation. So that was probably, what, 10, 12 seconds of time? And that's the beauty of it. A lot of people think you have to kill the boss or at least spawn an altar to get progress. You don't. As soon as they spawn the monsters the first time, that is the progress. You just wait for that red ring. If you're doing Eater of Worlds, it's a blue ring. Sometimes, if you have a build that hits stuff very far off screen, you won't see the ring, but you kind of get a feel if you're killing enough monsters and you don't see it, you're like, okay, this popped, I just didn't see it. And 99% of the time you'll go back and you'll see, okay, it did pop and I just didn't see it because I killed someone way off screen that popped it, and for some reason the game didn't want to tell me that. But that is the power of this, and you can just keep doing this with trash maps. 14 white maps that are on maps that people don't care about. I can just go in and I can just kill stuff and wait for the red pop. There's another 10.7. You just keep doing this. Simple as hell. Now, something I should have mentioned earlier, but hopefully you're still watching the video, is that once you get to this mark right here, and there's only one notch left, you have to run the whole map and kill the boss because the boss drops the invitation. So what I will do is when I get to that mark, I will have a couple maps in my stash, like Beach, that I know where the boss is. The boss is very easy to find in Beach. He's always in generally the same place. Another good one is Mesa. Mesa is an amazing map for this strategy and just getting to the boss because it's a big circle and you just run in the middle. Atoll is nice because you just take the rightmost path. He's either to the right, or to the right, and then up and to the left a little bit. Very easy to find and quick to get to. Anything you can get to the boss quickly to is going to be nice. So where are you getting these trash maps? Well, hopefully you have some, and you will find them as you are mapping that you can do. Again, tier 14, 15, 16, they all work the same. I have a bunch because the other way you can do it is you can buy them off of TFT, namely. Now, you can just use the ones that you find. If you don't like TFT, that's fine. I find this very advantageous where I can go to the bulk maps, want to buy an Ancestor Softcore bulk, want to buy section, put a simple post like this, want to buy softcore, T14 to 16 trash maps, one divine for 180 maps, in-game name, Safe on Talk Ranger. Just this, that's all you have to do. I got lucky once and someone gave me 200 for a divine. Then people stopped responding to that. I went one divine for 180, and I got requests within 5-10 minutes. Now you want to talk investment. That one divine for 180 divided by, if you have an average of 26 maps per, that one divine turns into about 7, because sometimes you're going to have an invitation at 25 maps, which is 7.2. So one divine for 6 divine profit. If you have your own maps, that's very easily, you could turn it into 7 divines profit. If you buy maps, you're still making 6 divines profit. For doing the simplest, dumbest thing ever. Have I said that earlier? Because I mean it. This is super, super easy and ridiculous that it gives you progress without really having to do much whatsoever. But until they change it, let's just take advantage of it. Now, maps you want to avoid especially is Coliseum and Arena. Definitely Arena. I'm pretty sure Coliseum is one too, because it will make you go through that stupid closed door little mini game thing, and most of the time it will not pop before then. In fact, I don't think I've ever had it pop before then. It is a waste. So in your post you might want to say, if you're buying them off TFT or something, no Arena or Coliseum, because it is very slow and it screws you over. Another way to make this faster is on my swap. I have a weapon with trigger a socketed spell on using a skill with a 4-second cooldown. Spells triggered this way have 150% more cost. It looks like this. Trigger a socketed spell on using a skill with number sign, second cooldown, 150 more cost. Search, you are going to get weapons that have this on it. They are very cheap. You can get one for 1 chaos, and you put portal in it so that when you use a skill, when you switch, it will cast portal. So what I will do is when I open a new map, it takes, when I switch to it, it turns my auras off because I do not have my aura gems socketed in any of my swap gear. So it turns it off. So when I make a new town portal, I will turn my auras back on. Now when I make a town portal, when I open a new map. So you'll see I have my auras on. I'll do one more. Get the pop. I'll hit F, swap. I will use a skill. I will go in. Then I will open another map while it takes a second for the portals to open, I just hit F, which is my swap hotkey. You could set that in settings, and then I just pop in another map, and I do it again. There's the pop. So right there, while I was just talking about that, I made about 22 to 23 chaos. Very, very simple. So that's an easy way to get your town portals a little faster. Now, a quick note on the swapping thing, turning off your auras. I know that if you have these same auras in your swap, it will not turn them off, but I think it's more complicated than that, because sometimes if it changes the mana reservation, it screws it up even, and I have Enlighten in this one, and I'm sure as hell not buying another level 4 Enlighten support. But like I said, while you were putting a new map in there, and you're waiting for the portals to come up, just recast your auras. This strategy is lazy enough. We don't have to get out of control with the amount of laziness. Now, for some extra stuff about this strategy that you can do, I like to go quite a few 2% chance for one monster in each map to drop an additional connected map and get quite a few of those. This is not an optimized map for this, because honestly, all you really need is this. I just like having the connected map nodes because you still are killing stuff, and relatively often when you just kill those first couple packs, you get a map drop, and it just helps with your sustain. It's a free map. I grab it before I portal back. Another thing you can do to kind of optimize this a little bit, and it will slow it down, but it also can make it a little bit more exciting, less brain dead, is when you first go on a map and you see the altar pop. You can take this node right here where there's a 50% chance to spawn a Searing X altar when the influence of the Searing X first appears in your maps. That means more often there is going to be an altar that pops when you kill that first pack of red monsters. So instead of immediately going back when those red monsters pop, you can kill them, see if an altar spawns, and just peek at the altar and see if it's a good one. If it's a good one, you run the rest of the map. I usually, when I would do that, would make it so I would only finish the rest of the map if something is worth more than a chaos or more than 2 chaos usually. So I would only run it if it had, say, an Orb of Annulment reward, Awakened Sextant reward, or a good Scarab. Sometimes you can get really good Scarab rewards, like a Divination Scarab drop or something like that. Anything that was 3 or more chaos, then I would run it. That just kind of breaks up the monotony, and probably in the long run, such you're getting something like a good Scarab or a Orb of Annulment reward, it makes it worth it to just finish out the map, get as many of those as possible, then go back to doing what you're doing. This also is pretty dang good for leveling safely, because you are not doing other stuff like Delirium or stuff where the enemies are tougher and you can run white maps and you're just killing a couple mobs. So you can this isn't great for leveling, but it is certainly, more safe than the alternatives of juicing maps or using sextants that power up the monsters or things like that. So that is another advantage of this strategy that I'm noticing, as I'm level 97 and it's hard to level, but I am getting decent experience just by running this strategy. Again, before the comments go up, this is not a good leveling strategy. It's just nice that is a lower risk for getting some experience. There is also a mini invitation you get at the halfway mark. It's not really worth anything. The only reason that I will get them sometimes is because they are a nice damage check for me. I can tell how much I've increased my damage recently by how fastly I kill these bosses, but that's about it. 9 times out of 10, I just skip this halfway invitation you get for killing the boss, and I just rip through it all the way to the last invitation. Also, I sell these invitations. I will wait till I have 5 of them, and I will sell them for 6.5. 5 times 1.2 is 6 divine. They sell within 20-30 minutes most of the time. So they are definitely still worth 1.2 divine, and people like things in bulk. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. I actually had notes for this one, which was a weird ass feeling, so hopefully I didn't miss anything, but let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe also, if you want to see more POE content, and make sure you go and follow on Twitch, twitch.tv/SafeOnTalk. I'm streaming all the damn time with a whole bunch of great people, and I love to see you guys there. So get followed over there and come hang out. I answer any questions that I can answer, and if I can't answer them, a lot of times there's someone in chat that knows more than me that has the answer. So thanks again, guys, and until next time, I hope you find a lot more currency than I do.